Hello, this is Cryptolyze. I hope you are well on this Friday, 23 February 2024. We meet today to talk about the QSR crypto, which is Quasar's crypto. So, as usual, we're going to split this video into two parts. A fundamental part, we will come back to what Quasar is, the usefulness of the QSR and Quasar, and the Cosmos ecosystem in which Quasar gravitates, and you will see that there are many specificities, and then we will go to the technical part, to go to the graphs to project ourselves in the short, medium, long term on purchase prices, sale prices. You will see that there are already some great performances, but that there are plenty to be had later, and we start straight away by explaining what Quasar is. So already it's a blockchain which is on the Cosmos ecosystem, so it's something which is conscripted with the Cosmos SDK, which has alongside the IBC protocol, so it's the interoperability carried by precisely Cosmos, and it's a real player who is in the Cosmos ecosystem to bring a very strong particularity. That's why I really like this protocol, since it is a protocol that allows you to create vaults. So what do vaults themselves mean? That means a basket of cryptos, a basket of assets that will be interfaced. We talk a lot about BTC ETFs, BlackRock Spot ETFs. It's a bit the same thing, except that it's made with cryptos and that it's permissionless. And that's something that is very strong. Permissionless mainly means that you can directly create packages around the cryptos, and it is a big interest, particularly in the B2 part, in the business part, as it is currently defined. It is the first and largest decentralized asset management, the DAM, which is interfaced with the IBC, therefore with the truly interoperable part of the entire Cosmos ecosystem and everything that is IBC compatible, therefore which allows it to be able to interface with all protocols, which are IBC. Besides, it is permissionless, so as I say, it means that everyone can do it, and that there is no need for validation by anyone. From the moment we have access to the protocol, and we respect the rules of the protocol, we can build vaults, whether they are liquidity vaults, whether they are structural vaults, whether they are indices, and we can actually build products on top of them. And that's precisely the interest of Quasar in relation to that. It's to be able to build, to give the necessary tools to be able to build projects around that. And what's interesting is that it still had a lot of feedback. We see that we had NASDAQ talking about it. We had CoinDesk talking about it. We had Cointelegraph talking about it. Spoke, and when we see the different people who talk about the project, we still have Osmosis with Sony, from Osmosis, who is not just anyone, who defines that it is a new way of operating at the financial level, decentralized. I agree. It is something which is a necessary building block for decentralized finance, particularly on the Cosmos side. And when we look at Jack from Cosmos Foundation, who explains to us that in fact it is a way of managing cross-hatred and the way of manage the interhane liquidity structures which are very strong. And I completely agree at the time that the Quasar protocol is really very important in potentially the future of decentralized finance on Atom. And that's really going to be the goal, actually. Will Cosmos and its ecosystem, the Cosmos Hub, use Quasar to be able to do this? And are we going to have a lot of structured applications on it? That remains to be seen. But in this case, we have the fundamental building blocks to be able to build very advanced decentralized protocols to be able to move forward at the level of the IBC protocol. Next to it, we have the token, the QSR. The QSR, which serves DeFi, rather classic, which serves to protect the network, given that it is a proof-of-stake blockchain in which you can stake your QSRs for approximately 5 APR. And next to it, we will have the QSR, which is used to manage the DAOs, therefore the DAO itself, that is to say the advances in the blockchain. And to know that in these advances we still have quite a few things, also the incentives which can be generated around the QSR. And therefore it may be of interest to have the QSR, if only to manage these incentives and the flows incentives. To see, once again, we are on a protocol which is very young with a diluted market cap which is very weak. Here we are talking about $88 million. So it is really very, very weak. And on the other hand, we are already on a circulating supply of million QSR out of the 614 million, so we're pretty good. We don't have too much release, which is expected. We just have classic inflation with Cosmos SDK, so something we're used to manage from the moment we are directly stacked. And this is also the goal of these cryptos, is to stack them systematically, to have a return, to avoid inflation, and also at the same time to be able to receive potential airdrops if ever there are projects being built on Quasar and which want to incentivize with airdrops. In terms of the technical part, we have very few graphics. It is a project which is still very recent, but in which we had the launch phase with a hypervaluation, which was done in 2 stages. First valuation, structuring. Second valuation, which took place at the beginning of January 2024. So something which was quite strong. We have a first retracement. a bullish structuring, therefore with a bullish retest. So we could expect in particular a second part of retracement. For me, the zone to watch will be quite simple. It will be here the rework zone in the 012, in which we could have a zone, a spot zone a little bit, therefore a buying zone, which will be located here. For me, this is an area which will be relatively interesting, which I will keep in view if we ever return there to potentially either expose or reinforce the exposure. And then we can look for more high. What are the targets? Once again, we are in a project which is very young, implied to be very risky, but also with big returns. We are at 88 million market cap. We can potentially already get the billion market cap to potentially get 2, 3, 4 billion market cap. So that's really big returns, especially if the DeFi decentralized finance narrative picks up steam on the bull run that we're going to experience in the coming months. I think it will really be a player in decentralized finance on Cosmos. And so if we have a Cosmos, a narrative around Cosmos that grows, and therefore a Cosmos ecosystem that grows, with a narrative of decentralized finance, the QSR could have a very nice valuation. And it's going to be an asset really to watch. Once again, be careful. There are still a lot of risks that we are sure of, really on a small market cap, with still quite little use, with quite little protocols that are built on it, and therefore always pay close attention to your risk management. Moreover, speaking of risk management, do not hesitate to look in the comments in the description. You have an investment guide which is available, which is 100 free, in which I explain to you when to buy, when to sell, how to gauge my risk management. You have 30 concise pages to actually have the essentials and the basics to be able to face the bull run that is coming. I hope you like this video. If so, don't forget to leave me a like and a comment before leaving. It really helps the work I do. It encourages me, and above all, it makes me very happy. And we will meet again very soon for a new video.